Today, the nation celebrates Kargil Diwas. It's the 25th anniversary of the day India got victory over Pakistan. Today, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will visit the Kargil War Memorial to honor our soldiers. Well, let's go across to NDTV's Vishnu Shom, who joins us there from Dras. And Vishnu, I remember, 25 years ago, you were reporting on the war. I was in office here waiting for you to, uplink all your videos, etc. And now 25 years later, you're there today, the Prime Minister, to honor our soldiers.
That's right, Gargi, but a small correction. Remember, back in those days, we couldn't uplink because Obi-Wans couldn't come up to Kargil. So we had our little tapes and we used to record our stories, and then we used to take these tapes, give it to an Indian Air Force or an Indian Army chopper pilot. They would fly it over whenever they would come. So it's not as if they were working only for us. Whenever they'd ferry in soldiers, take out evacuated soldiers, we'd go up to them, we'd give them our tape and plead and say, please take our tape back. We'll have it made by somebody in Srinagar. And that's how the visuals actually. But what we did do in terms of live,
and
which
Vishnu,
is why
look
Kargil
at it
was
now.
India's
You're
first,
joining me live from Dras. You're speaking to me right there. Incredible.
Absolutely. But what we did do live, Gargi, and it's important to mention this, were the satellite phone reports. Those were the first, and I think I was the first person to do a satellite phone report from the war zone. And that's what brought that live element in. But now we've got television. This is coming to you off an Obi-Wan. So much has changed. I'm a short distance away from Dras. Dras itself is under a huge security blanket as we speak. The Prime Minister expected to be at the Kargil War Memorial, which is in Dras, in about an hour from now. And we'll be cutting to pictures of that very solemn ceremony which is going to be taking place there, followed by the Prime Minister's address. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be in the Kargil War Memorial in Dras for approximately an hour before he flies back. But it is an incredible moment for the Indian Army, the Indian Air Force and the Indian Navy as well. Remember, they were heavily deployed out in the Arabian Sea. A time to remember the sacrifices of the 540 plus Indian officers and men who lost their lives scaling the peaks, and to remember that we regained every square inch of territory which was taken from us.
That's right, Vishnu. And you've spent you've been there the last few days. You've been speaking to so many people, officers, and Air Force officers who were actually were captured by the Pakistan Army and tortured as well. You also spoke with Captain Vikram Batra's twin, Vishal Batra, and all of that. It's quite an emotional moment for so many people.
It is such an emotional moment, and I'm not one to be in tears too often, but just yesterday we were at a place called Lamochen, which is sort of behind Dras. It's on the high ground, and from there you can actually see Batra Top, which is where Vikram Batra, Paramveer Chakra, he was the captain during Kargil, went down fighting. You see Tiger Hill, you see several other posts, and then the large feature which is Tololing as well. And all of the next of kin who are watching a small presentation looking ahead at what was happening, many of them were completely in tears. It was an emotional moment, and the interview that you'll see just now, Vishal Batra, the brother of Captain Vikram Batra, Paramveer Chakra, his identical twin, and they look absolutely, he's a photocopy. Vishal is a photocopy of Vikram. He had this to tell me yesterday. But when Vikram went away, you wanted to do the final rites. I mean, you needed to lift his mortal remains, yes. Right?
Yes.
Because it would not be complete had you not done that. Yes. I hate to bring you back to that moment, but I just want to understand more about the bond between you and your brother.
See, it was a very, very difficult moment because, I was just 24 and I'd never seen a dead body. And I hate the word dead body. So when Vikram came in a coffin, and you prefer using the word coffin because end of the day he has a name.
Yeah.
And the first instance was that when Vikram was brought into and we took the coffin to the command hospital in Palampur, you have to identify. And I was supposed to sign the documents. And I was the first person to get into a mortuary despite the fact there were almost close to 2,000 people who were waiting for him. It was a very sad moment that, somebody is asking you to recognize him. On 11th of July 99, when we did the final rites and we brought coffin to home to pay the final rites to him. And when we took him to the crematorium, and when the coffin was opened, as a ritual of the army protocol, the tricolor and the hat was handed over to mom and dad. And I wanted to lift him, because I personally believe that this is going to be my last touch of my brother. And it was a very difficult moment, and my dad told me that you'll have to lit the pyre, and I didn't have the courage. So it was a very difficult moment, but I had to do it because, it's a ritual in the Hindus that if you have a brother and the father is also alive, so the final rites couldn't be done by a father. Then the Panditji in the crematorium told me, Vishal, you'll have to do it. Then I thought that of course he deserves that last respect from my end, because whatever he's done, I don't think I'll ever be able to match up his credentials. But then that's the life it is.
And now let's put this away, you got me in tears as well.